We have learned how to evaluate the 6 trigonometric functions for the common first quadrant angles and how to use them as reference angles for angles in other quadrants. To evaluate trig functions of other angles, we use a scientific or graphing calculator. If the calculator has a degree mode and a radian mode, you first have to confirm that the correct mode is chosen before making a calculation. Most calculators have a sine, cosine, and tangent button. For the reciprocal functions, there may not be any designated keys called cosecant, secant, or cotangent. In that case, the function must be evaluated as the reciprocal of sine, cosine, or tangent. So, for example, if we look at this Texas Instrument 83 graphing calculator, we notice there is a sine button, a cosine button, and a tangent button. There is no secant, cosecant, or cotangent button. So if we want to evaluate any one of those 3 trig functions, we will have to take the reciprocal of sine, cosine, or tangent. So for the first example we have up here, if I would like to take the secant of pi over 3, since pi over 3 is in radians, I first have to be sure that my calculator is in radian mode. So to do that, let's first turn the calculator on, and then I want to click the mode button right here. Okay, we will use the mode button to make sure it's in radians. So if you look, my first line says normal scientific, float, and then the next line is radians or degrees. I can use my arrow button to arrow down to go back and forth between radian and degrees. So you want to make sure it's highlighted on radians and you hit enter. Now when we go back to the calculator, since secant of pi over 3 is the reciprocal of cosine of pi over 3, I'm going to put in on the calculator 1 over cosine of pi over 3. So I'm going to hit my 1 button, then my division button, and then I'm going to hit my cosine button, and in the parentheses I'm going to put pi. Pi is above your little caret symbol. Mine's in yellow, so I have to hit the second button first. So I hit second, and then the little caret to access my pi symbol, and then divided by 3, and then I close my parentheses. It's really important that you close your parentheses. Some calculators, not all, but some calculators are sensitive to that and may give you a wrong answer if you don't close them off. Then I'm going to hit enter. Okay, so my answer is 2. While I'm in radian mode, I'm going to skip down to do cotangent of 5 pi over 6. Cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent, so I'm going to put in on my calculator 1 over tangent of 5 pi over 6. So I'm going to hit 1 divided by tangent, and in parentheses I'm going to hit 5, and then I'm going to do my pi symbol, over 6. I use the division sign for making a fraction bar, and then I close my parentheses, and I get minus 1.73 approximately if we round to 2 places. So it's not equivalent to negative 1.73. So I'm going to put my little squiggly line here to make sure we know that it's an approximation. Now for cosecant, cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. So on my calculator, I'm going to put 1 divided by sine of 3 pi over 4. So 1 divided by sine, and then in parentheses I'm going to put 3 pi divided by 4, and I'm going to close my parentheses. That gives me, since it's not an exact number, I'm going to put my little squiggly equal sign there for approximation, 1.41. Now, let's do the others here that are, so I'll box off the ones that are in radians. Those were in radians. Now I'll put in a different color. These are the ones that are in degree mode. So what I'm going to do is go back to mode, and I'm going to come down and make sure that I'm in degree mode. So I'm highlighting degree, and then I hit enter, and I make sure that it switches from radians to degrees. Now I can go back to my home screen by hitting second mode, and it goes back to the home screen. So now I'm in degree mode. For cosecant, that's the reciprocal of sine. So I'm going to do 1 over sine of 40 degrees. So I hit my 1 button, divide, sine, and then I put in 40, close my parentheses, and I hit equals, and that gives me an approximation. If I round to 2 decimal places, that's 1.56. All right, last one. Secant is the reciprocal of cosine. So I'm going to do 1 over cosine of 90 degrees. So I'm going to hit 1 divided by cosine of 90 and then close my parentheses. It says division by 0. What this means is cosine of 90 degrees, if we look at our unit circle, 90 degrees is this point right here. If I sweep open 90 degrees, this is the point that it lands on in the unit circle. That point is 0, 1. So the cosine at 90 degrees, the cosine of the angle is 0. Which means if I do the reciprocal of that, if I do 1 over 0, it's undefined, which is why it's giving us an error message on here. So there is no value of secant of 90 degrees.